Well, here we are, 3 weeks in. We've got 7 days to go. We're in the finisher shoot. 7 more days. So that means you've got about 21 days under your belt, which, they say it takes 21 days to build a habit. So the hope is that that's exactly what's been happening, is that you're building new habits. When things become a habit, they become less difficult to sustain. So I wanted to just address something. I work with a lot of different clients, and in the process of building new habits, inevitably this kind of thing will happen. Get a client come back, and they'll say something like, "Oh my gosh, I went to this party and I had to have that piece of cake. I just had to have it." And they get really frustrated and they just want to throw in the towel. They feel like there's no way I'm ever going to be able to say no to cake for the rest of my life, so why even try? And it's kind of this all or nothing thing. And I don't know if you're one of those folks. I know, I definitely struggle with that. But I just want to say this, just chill, okay? Just relax. So here's the deal. A piece of cake is not that big a deal, okay? Let me tell you what the problem is. Building a lifestyle around a piece of cake, okay? And that's been what most of us used to do. I mean, the norms were our cakes and our burgers and our pizzas and our spaghettis, and, those kinds of things were our norm, and they got us in a place of just feeling lethargic and depressed and unhappy and, sick. And so it's not that those foods are so much the problem, it's a lifestyle built around those foods that are a problem. So we just want those things to be an exception to the norm. I just want to say this, if you walk around saying, I shouldn't have this, I shouldn't have that, you've probably heard this phrase, stop shoulding on yourself, or don't should on others. The reason is because as soon as you start throwing around this word shouldn't and should, the inner rebel just starts raising up. I mean, you've probably seen it. As soon as you say, I shouldn't have that piece of cake, you're reaching for it before you even finish the sentence. Should and shouldn't is like a process killer. So just throw that out. Okay, you need to eradicate that from your vocabulary. Just relax. Exceptions to the norm. Building a new norm. That's what we're after, okay? So thinking about things like cake in particular, a lot of times people get in those situations, they're social type situations or situations that are outside of their routine, and that's when they get in trouble. So I want to speak to that briefly, very briefly. When you're in a situation like you've been invited to a party, you've been invited to a restaurant, or you're going out of town on a little road trip, there's two things I want you to be thinking about. One is get as much information about the situation as you can so that you can make informed choices, okay? So if you know that you're going to be going to a dinner party, find out, is it hors d'oeuvres? Is it dinner? Do I get to bring something? If I'm not supposed to bring something, can I bring something? Find out as much as you can, especially when you're, heading over to other people's houses. It is okay, to bring things that support what you're wanting. Branch out a little bit, get online, look for recipes for gluten-free, sugar-free desserts. Find, paleo kind of recipes, even though we wouldn't necessarily call ourselves paleo, that's just kind of a thing right now, and those principles are very much in line with what you've been doing. So just search recipes and branch out and be creative and bring things that support what you're after in life, okay? Because it's not about you shouldn't, it's about what you want. And what you're wanting is more energy, fitting in your clothes, being available for your relationships, being able to think clearly. These are the things that you want. Therefore, you want to eat the kinds of things that give you those results. If you're going to a restaurant, get online, take a look at the menu, see what's available. Look for things that are within your parameters, and make decisions accordingly. The worst thing you can do, I'm telling you from experience, the worst thing you can do is go in without a plan. Okay, sometimes you're going to be forced into that situation, but whenever possible, do not go in without a plan, because your decision making ends up getting all swept up into what everybody else is doing. And listen, if you want the life that everybody else has, lethargic and frustrated and sick, then eat what they're eating. But you want something different. So decide what you want to have before you get there. And also, don't be afraid to special order. So say you're at a Chinese restaurant and they've got a chicken teriyaki, tell them to make it without the sauce. It's basically sauteed vegetables and chicken. So think outside the box a little bit when you're looking at a menu, and don't be afraid to special order. I'm telling you, because people are so much more health conscious than they used to be. It is very, very common for restaurants to get special orders. It's not that big a deal like it used to be. You know, the restaurant industry is expecting it now, okay? A lot of places even have gluten-free menus. You know, I used to work at P.F. Chang's back in the day, and they even had a gluten-free recipe where they had their regular items, but were prepared just a little bit differently. So don't be afraid to ask for things like that, okay? And then if you're going on a road trip, how long are you going to be in the car? You know, be prepared. Just don't get in the car and drive and then get hungry. Because, you know, all you're doing is passing these blue signs. McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King. And, you know, the last thing that you need is fast non-food. You know what I'm saying? So plan ahead. Make sure that you've got maybe some nuts in the car. Maybe you want to go out and get some Lara bars. You know, maybe you want to go ahead and chop up some fruits and vegetables, whatever. But, you know, support yourself for success. Just don't get in the car hungry and have only the blue options, okay? We don't, no, don't do it. So get as much information as you can, plan ahead. This is going to help you in the majority of those situations that are out of the norm, including your backyard barbecues and your tailgating and things like that. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. It can be done. People do it all the time. And I want you to hear me on this. You are not a victim to your surroundings or your circumstances. You are not a victim. A lot of people play the victim. Oh, there was nothing I could do. There wasn't anything I could eat. Listen, nobody's shoving anything down your throat. You know, even if you don't have a choice with what's put in front of you, you still have a choice of, you know, what of it you're going to eat and how much. So don't ever let yourself feel like you're a victim. You are way more powerful than that, okay? Here we go, 7 more days. Super stoked to hear your results. So just get in this finisher shoot, give it all you got, do the best you can, and I hope that, you know, not only have you been challenged by making these changes, but that you're really enjoying the benefits of the results as well. So I'm really proud of you. You got 3 weeks down. Go get this last week, all right? Good job, you.